So in previous class already we had a discussion about how we are going to work with the loops. Everything we discussed now, and conditional statements along with the functions also we discussed, right? Functions also completed, no? User defined functions completed, and at the same time in the user defined like return statement also we discussed. So now today we are going to focus on events. What is the use of events, and at the same time why you are using events in the real time scenario? Now we are going to discuss. So if you are taking any function, so how we are going to call the function? By using event only. Now, for example, I'm going to take here function name. For example, ABC is my function name. In this function, I'm going to write some statements. For example, where A equal to 10, then where B equal to 30, then where C equal to A plus B. So we have to print that one. So simply I'm going to do here. So document dot write of C we discussed, right? So now I want to call this function. How we are going to call the function? By using events. For example, I'm going to take here one button. Input type equal to button. I'm going to take under value. You have to assign some value. For example, click me is my button name. So if I click on the button, I want to get the output. Currently, it is not showing. Why? Because we didn't apply any event here. We have to use here on click. On click is the event. So whenever if you click on the button, I want to call the function called add. If I click on the button, directly it will move to the add function. Sorry, our function name is ABC. So it will directly move to that ABC function, and we will get the output. So here we applied the on click. On click is the event we are going to use. Instead of that one, we can use here on double click, DVL click, nothing but a double time click you have to do. So for single click, it won't work. Now if I click on that one, it is not working. We have to do the double time click. So now if you have double time click, it is working now. So this is called double click we can use. So for example, my requirement is if I'm refreshing my home page, I want to get that function call. So how we are going to do that? So for that one, we can use another event called onload. Onload equal to onload is nothing but whenever your web page is loaded. So whenever your web page is refreshed. Now just go to the browser and just refresh. Automatically it will execute now. So that is called onload. Onload always we can write inside the body tag only. What it means, whenever your web page is loaded, at the time it will directly call that function. That is called onload we can use. Understood now? So and at the same time we have here so input controls also. If you click on that input control, I want to execute something. For example, now we can observe here, I'm going to take one text box. So in the text box, if I press any key, now we can observe if I'm entering some key, automatically the function should be executed. What is the event we have to use for that? I'm going to use here on key press or on key down. You can use anything, on key press or on key down, we can use it. So now I'm going to take here one function call. What is the function? ABC. Now you can call the function. So whenever if you are press any key, now I'm going to press here one key. So now you can observe automatically the function is executed. So why? Because we implemented here on key press now, on key press or on key down. You can press any key or you can so press any key down in the sense press only. So it will automatically execute that one. That is on key down or on key press. And we have on key up. So now if you are press any key, whenever if you are remove that, nothing but whenever we are release that key, automatically it will execute. That is called on key up we can use. So we have the form, for example, consider if I click on the submit button, I want to execute that function on submit event you can use. Like that we have a number of events on click, on double click, on mouse over, on mouse out, and so on key press, on key down, on key up, and at the same time on mouse move, on mouse out we have. So a number of events on double click like that we can use. Now we can observe here on mouse over I'm going to do. So in the mark you already we discussed about on mouse over. Now what is meant by on mouse over? If I move the cursor, we are getting automatically. Similar we have here on mouse out also you can use. So this type of events we can use. What is meant by event? Event is nothing but if we are doing something, we will get some execution, that is called event. So in the JavaScript, we have different kinds of events: on click, on double click, on mouse over, on mouse out, and at the same time on load, on blur, on submit. Like that, we have a number of events. Depends upon the requirement, we can select one event and we can use it. So most probably in the real-time scenario, we have the form, we are doing some form validations. There must and should we can use the on submit event. I will show you in the future classes like practical implementations also. I will show you. This is about events we are going to apply. Clear now? Next concept is dialog boxes. Already we discussed dialog boxes. Alert prompt confirmation we discussed now. So that is called dialog boxes. You can use that one. So page redirection, we didn't discuss that page redirection, right? From one page to another page navigation, we didn't discuss now. So now my target is if I click on the button, it will call that function. That is fine. So through this function, I want to redirect to the next page. So how we are going to do that? In the HTML level, we are using anchor tag, ahref equal to, we are going to do the redirection from one page to another page. So, but here we are into JavaScript now. I want to redirect here also from one page to another page. How we are going to do that? Simply, you can use here location.href. Location.href equal to which page you want to navigate. For example, I want to navigate list.html. When I want to navigate, if user click on the button, it will call this function. Through this function, we can redirect. Okay. So now just go to the browser screen, and currently we are into first.html. If I click on the button, it is moved to the list.html, but we don't have that file. So that's why we are getting here some error kind of thing here. So if we have any file, for example, I'm going to move to the 10 o'clock. So our file name is first.html. No? In that, so we have here bs.html. This file I want to call. How we are going to call? Just you can replace the file name only. Now I'm going to run this one. We have, sorry, now I'm going to run this one. So we have button. If I click on the button, it is moved to the bs.html. So this is the way you have to redirect from one page to another page in the real-time scenario. So instead of this one, we have alternative method, that is window.location, which page you want to move. So again, I want to move to the same page only, bs.html. So first one we did the comment so that it is not executing. Second one only it will execute. Now see here, it is also working fine now. So from one tab to another so page it is opening. That is about how we are going to work with the redirection in the HTML level. So we are going to do the anchor tag. So if you are click on that one, it will execute. But here, no need to do the click also. Directly also it will execute. So for example, I don't have any function. So currently, which page we are going to? First.html. If I'm running this first.html, see here, directly it is opening the bs.html. Why? Because in the first.html only you implemented already this statement now. That's why it is executing like this. Understood now? So this is the way you have to implement in the real-time scenario whenever if you want to do the redirection from one page to another page. Now I want to redirect so one page to another page, but in the same tab, not in the same tab. I want to open the new tab. In the anchor tag, we have the target attribute. Now, if you are click on the target attribute, what happened? So for example, here I have my company name. If I click on that one, it is open the new tab. So if you want to do that one in the HTML, what we are going to do? We can use anchor tag only, but a target equal to underscore blank, you can use it. So we are into bootstrap JavaScript now. Here we can do window.open. Open is the predefined method for the window object. So you can take here bs.html. So save this one and go to the browser, and what happened, we'll check. What happened? So it is opening the new tab. Actually, this is our file. So if I click on that one, what happened? It is opening the new tab. So if you want to open in the same tab or new tab, depends upon your requirement, you can use it. So if you want to open in the same tab, location.href, or you can also use the window.location, you can use it. So if you want to work with a new tab, you can use the window.open. So my requirement is I want to work with a new tab or same tab, that is no problem. So here my intention is I want to open that page. So otherwise I want to execute that function after some time gap. So I'm going to specify. So I want to execute after some time gap this function. So how it will be executed. So generally we are doing on click or on load, we are getting the output now. But my target is I want to call that function after some time gap. Why? Because so if I'm opening elearninfotech.com website, so by default I want to show one image. So courses offer image. So web designing 10% offer, your development 15% offer. I want to show that image like a 2 minutes. Okay, or 2 seconds I want to show. After 2 seconds, I want to move to my web page. How we are going to do that one? So just simply I'm going to take here some dummy image here. So we can take here image src equal to, we can display some image. So we have here pestify.jpg. I'm going to take here pestify.jpg. This is my image here. So consider this is the offer image and this is my home page. Okay, so if I'm running this programming, so it will be stay like this only. But my requirement is after 3 seconds, I want to move to that home page bs.html. How we are going to do that one? Simply, we can observe here. I'm going to use here some predefined method called set timeout. So this is the set timeout is a predefined method. It will allow two parameters. One is which function you have to call, and second one is after how many seconds you want to call. So now we can observe here. I want to call that ABC function. So after 3000 nanoseconds, nothing but after 3 seconds, it will directly execute that one. So now we can observe here. I'm going to refresh. After 3 seconds, it is navigating now. So this is the way you have to implement in the real-time scenario, whatever you are going to show the offer kind of things. So that is called set timeout method. You have to understood after how many, whatever you declare here, after how many seconds you want to execute, you can write it. So after 3 seconds, I want to call this function. In this function, you can write anything also, any logic also you can write. Just I am considering one redirection part here. So this is the way you have to implement in the real-time scenario. So here set timeout is a predefined function under JavaScript. Understood now? So this is the way we have to redirect from one page to another page in the real-time scenario. Then
set timeout people will manage it you are given message. It will please
yes, no. So always it will be considered as a nanoseconds format only. So here also we given 3 seconds only, but 1000 nanoseconds equal to 1 second. We have to calculate and we can apply that one. So always that predefined method, no, that is in case that is the user defined method, we can give our content only, but that is a predefined method we have to use as it is. So then I want to do the here window.print method. What is the use of print method under the same time? Why we are using print method? So for example, I have here one web page. In this web page, I have image as well as content. I want to take as it is print out. So how we are going to take the print here? So just you have to take the window.print method. Print is the predefined method. I'm going to take here button. So the button text is print and the button should be close. So if I click on the button, I want to do the print. So what we are going to do? So when I want to do the print, if I click on the button, nothing but on click. On click equal to, so we can do here print. So print is a predefined method. You can use that method. So we will get the here. So preview, and at the same time, if you want to take the print out, you can take the print here. So and instead of this one, we can write the window object. Actually, this is a window.print method. We have to write the syntax. If you are writing a print also, it will work fine. So this print method under window object we are getting. So that's why we can take here. So window.print. Previously we did the window.open. Now similar we can do the window.print method. So this is also predefined method only. You can use that one. This is the way if you want to take the print out in the real-time scenario here. Then next very important concept is exception handling. What is the use of exception handling? And so how we are going to use that one will show you with practical implementation. So what is meant by exception? Exception is nothing but runtime error. So if you are running your programming at the time of runtime, if you are facing any issue, so that is called exception. So see here, just I'm going to take very basic programming. So where a equal to 10. So now I'm going to print here document dot write of a. So is there any error? So it is not showing any error here. Okay. So now I'm going to run this programming. So here we are getting the empty output. Empty in the sense, so we are facing some issue. Go to the console. Here we are getting some error. Uncaught reference error. A is not defined. We are getting some error here. When we are getting error, see here, I'm going to remove. there is no error here. Okay. If I'm running this programming at the time of runtime, we are getting error. No? That is called exception. So whenever if you are running your programming, if you are running your project, at the time of runtime, if you are getting any error, we can call it as an exception. So if you want to fix this error, we have to use the exception handling. By using exception handling, so I don't want to show this message here. I want to show any message also in the browser area only. As a developer, you know how to open the console, everything. But as a end user, I want to show something in the browser screen only. Now. So how we are going to do that one? So if you want to fix this error, if you want to fix this exception, we have to use the exception handling. We have to use the exception handling. So in the exception handling, we have the try block, and at the same time, we have the catch block. So what is meant by try block and what is meant by catch block? So in the try block, you can write entire your business logic. Nothing but your code you can place in the try block. In case try block generates some error, catch will catch that error and it will print that error description. In case it is not showing any error, there is no problem. Try only to execute. In case, just I'm saying, in case it will generate some error, catch will catch that error and that error description we can print it. So if try is not generating any error, try only to execute, catch won't execute. So I will show you, just you can observe here. So we can use here try block. In the try block only you can write entire your logic. This is my logic here. I'm going to write the try. And we can do here catch. In case it will show any error, you can take here error, just description I'm going to take here. Some reference we have to take here. So that error description I want to print. So you can do here document.write. So here error dot description. So whatever you are getting error, that error description I want. So that's why this description is a predefined property. So we have to just take that property and we can use it. So now I'm going to check the same programming only. Now we can observe in the browser console, there is no error. We are getting directly only in the browser area only we are getting. So that is undefined variable. So that undefined from where we are getting? From this description only you are getting. If you are not using the description, now we can observe here. So here we are getting reference error. So A is not defined. So that error I don't want to show. That's why what I'm trying to do is just I'm going to make it as a description. This is the way you can. So actually here what happened in the sense, we are writing some wrong code. As a developer, we wantedly or unwantedly by mistake we did some code now. So this is not a real-time process. This is like a predefined one. So actually we have two types here. One is user defined and second one is predefined we have. So this is predefined we are getting now. So but my target is in the real-time scenario, user has to enter some data. No? So while entering that data, in case he is entering wrong data, at the time I want to show my own message. This is I don't want like undefined like that kind of things. I want to show my own messages. So if you want to generate your own exception, you can use the throw keyword. We have to use the throw keyword. By using that throw keyword, you can send whatever exception messages. So from the try to catch, I will show you with practical implementation. Just you can observe. So I want to do one shopping kind of thing here. So my target is here what I'm trying to do. So just whenever if you're running this project, it will ask enter quantity. User has to enter some quantity. So each product cost is 20 rupees. So in case they are entering 10 rupees, 10 quantity, 10 into 20, 200 we are getting. Whenever user enter quantity in the negative, at the time I want to show one exception. So quantity always positive only. Like that I want to show my own message. So how we are going to do that one? So first I want to get data dynamically from the user. So how we are going to get the data dynamically from the user? How we are going to get the data dynamically from the user? By using prompt. So prompt of enter quantity. I'm going to ask like enter quantity. So by default prompt is a string format. We have to convert into integer. So what I'm trying to do is, so I'm going to convert into integer. Percent method we have to use. Percent of, so we can do prompt of enter a value. So now user has to enter a value. Okay, so nothing but a quantity. So for example, if he is entering 10, I want to do the 10 into 20, 200. If a user enter minus value, at the time I want to show the message. So now user has to enter some number here. Either that should be positive or negative, we don't know. So why? Because this is the runtime value now. So dynamically user has to enter. Now my requirement is that number is a negative or positive. I want to identify. What is the logic for that one? Whether it is a negative or positive. I have some number. That number is positive or negative. I want to identify. How we are going to identify? Less than 0. So if a value is less than 0. So a value is a less than 0, that is a negative, no? So a value is greater than 0, that is positive. So whenever it is negative, what we are going to do? We have to throw your own message, no? You can use here throw keyword. Throw what you are going to throw. So quantity, I want to display here. So quantity always positive. This message I want to show. Quantity always positive. So otherwise, what you are going to do? Else block, we can move to else block. So here already we have the quantity. Now I'm going to do where P cost, nothing but product cost equal to 20 rupees is product cost. Under the same time where, so total equal to P cost, nothing but product cost into A. What is meant by A? Quantity now. So then you can print here documented rate of total, you can print it. So this is the logic we have to implement. So previously we display the description. Now I don't want that one. I want to show my own message only now. So that's why I'm going to take here error only. So now you can just go to the browser and refresh. It is asking quantity 10, 200 we are getting. So why? Because it is positive. So now I'm going to do here minus 10. So quantity always positive we are getting now. So this is the way you have to implement the user defined exceptions. Understood now? So whether user is eligible for marriage or not, you have to enter your age. So whether that age is so less than 21 is not eligible, so greater than 21 is eligible. Like that, you have to display that kind of things by using so try catch blocks. Okay. So here I required one default statement. So whether try is executed successfully, catch won't execute. Whether try is not executed, catch is executed. Any one is executing now. So I want to do the default message also. We can take here finally block. This finally block it will execute. So any one is executed, whether try is executed or catch is executed. It is not depend upon that one. So by default you will get that finally block. So here I want to display in the next line. So thanks for checking. Thanks for checking. So now you can observe here, I'm going to enter positive. Thanks for checking, executing. Total amount. So minus 20. So error as well as thanks for checking. That thanks for checking is default execution. No? So this is the way you have to implement the user defined exception as well as predefined exception. What is meant by exception? Exception is nothing but runtime error. If you are running the programming at the time of runtime, if you are facing any issue, that is called exception. How we are going to handle that exception? By using try catch blocks we can use. So within the try block, you can write entire your business logic. So in case try block generates some error, so that error catch will catch that error and it will display that error description here. So final block is a default execution, whether try is executed or catch is executed. It is not dependent upon try and catch blocks. It is a default message we are getting. So if you want to throw your user defined message, you can just use the throw keyword. With the help of throw keyword, you are going to print that exception. This is the way we have to implement in the real time scenario. Understood? No? Same logic you can write in the different ways also. So now I am going to take here one string method. Through that string method, I'm going to do the same example in the different format you can observe. So by default, this prompt is a string only. No? So user going to enter so some number only, but it will consider as a string only. So whether user enter 10 value, otherwise minus 10 also he is going to enter. That means this is a string. In this string, I want to find out the only first character. If you want to do the first character, so whether that is a negative or not, if you want to check, so that is fine. That is another logic I'm going to tell you, just you can observe. So for example, how we are going to declare the string? How we are going to declare the string? Quotes. You can use a single quotes or double quotes. For example, Elearn is a string. So this string always starts with a zero index. If you want to print that E, what you are going to do? If I am doing here document.write of B, we will get the string complete one. So I want to do the only starting one only, starting the character only. At the time you can use the index is zero. String always starts with a zero index. So if I want to do the starting one, so you can pass here zero. So now our program, coming to our programming, user enter 10 one case and second case, sorry, user enter here 10 and the second time user going to enter minus 10. So my requirement is first character I required. So first character minus or not I have to check. So how we are going to do that? So how we are going to get the first character? Here I am going to write the logic, just you can observe. Where b equal to a is a string by default prompt no, that's why it is a string a dot. So we can do here caret is a predefined method caret of 0. So what it will do, so only the first character it will be picked that one. Here 0 is the index, just you can observe here. If you want to do this e, what you are going to do, 0 only now. So this is the predefined function from the string object. So caret of 0, nothing but only the starting value, whether it is a minus or a positive. So we will get that one. So here I'm going to do if b equal to so minus. Whenever b value is a minus, at the time I want to show this message. Otherwise, so here a value already there, but that is a string format. We can convert into parsing now. We can convert it to the integer. We have to use parsing of here. Same programming, we'll get the error or not, we'll check. I'm going to enter 10. Okay, so success. I'm going to enter minus value. We are good. So that means it depends upon the developer intention, developer comfortable. Maybe they are going to use this method or another method also. Like we have the n number of logics here, depends upon the developer. Maybe they are going to think, so I'm going to use a string function. Why? Because it is a string format only. No? You are directly going to use a string method. Otherwise, directly you can convert into the integer. So I have the mathematical formula. So minus value or positive value, you can just less than 0 or greater than or equal to 0. You have to go to that implementation and you can take that example and you can implement. So this is the way we have to implement the in the real-time scenario. Understood now? So exception is clear. How we are going to handle that one, how we are going to throw the user-defined exception, everything is clear now. Okay. So coming to some theoretical points here. So JavaScript is not a whoops. What is meant by whoops? Whoops is nothing but object-oriented programming language. So in that whoops, we have the whoops concepts like a class, object, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. So we have here a number of concepts like abstraction, like that. We have the n number of concepts. Why they introduce the whoops concepts? So by using these whoops concepts, we can easily implement your logic, and at the same time it can be reused. Wherever you require, you can reuse it. So but this whoops concepts is not introduced in the JavaScript. JavaScript is stopped in 2015 only. After that they implemented as a ECMAScript, ES6, ES7, ES8, like that. They implemented a number of features, and this ECMAScript is completely whoops only. So JavaScript is not a whoops programming. So in the ECMAScript, we have the whoops concept. So in that, you can declare some classes, you can do the object declaration. Everything is possible, but here we are unable to declare any classes. But we have some predefined classes already. So just you have to take that classes and you can create object and you can use it. I will tell you with example so that you will get the clarity. So JavaScript is not a whoops, nothing but we are unable to declare any class. Actually, whenever if you want to declare any class also, how we are going to declare? By using class keyword, class and your class name. Sample is my class name. In that class, I'm going to take here some methods. Method is nothing but functions, properties, nothing but variable declaration. So I'm going to declare some variable where a equal to 10. So then where b equal to 30. I want to do here, so some function, we can just use the function add. You can write the logic here. Inside this one, you can write the logic. And at the same time, I want to do here function. So subtraction, you can write the logic here. So just we have to take the functions, n number of functions as well as n number of variable declarations also you can consider and you can use it. This is one class declaration. Okay, if you want to call this add method or this subtraction method, so how we are going to call? Generally, if we have the regular function, so this function is add and you can write the logic. So if you want to call this function, directly you can call this function or you can use the event, no, on click equal to add, you can write. But this one is inside the class we have, no. If you want to access that method, we have to create object for that, where obj object equal to, so we have to use new keyword to declare the object here. New, whatever the class name is there, you can use that one. First we have to create the object. After that we can take here obj through the object obj dot add method we can call. And at the same time obj dot scb subtract we can call. So this is the way we have to call the methods inside the class. Understood, no? So this is like a real-time scenario. Already we have the oops here. So, but we are unable to create any classes, predefined classes only. For example, this is the date class we have. For this date class, we have a number of methods. If you want to access this all the methods, we have to create new object. But with the help of new operator, we have to create object for the date class. In that date class, we have a number of methods. We can call that one. So just you can observe here the coding so that you will get some clarity. Now I'm going to take here directly where D is my variable name. So already we have the date class. So here we have the sample we created now. Like that, some predefined class is there. So that predefined class is date. So if you want to access these methods, what we are going to do, we have to take the object here now first. So new date now, we have to do new date. Done. So what we did in this step, just we created object. How we are going to create the object? By using new keyword. So by using new operator, we have to create object for the existing class. So this is a user defined. That's why I'm writing. That's why I created here. So this one is a predefined. Now predefined in the sense no need to declare the class. So just we have to create the object only. So that's why. So where obj here instead of obj, I'm going to take a D. You can take anything also. So new. So what is the class name? So date. We have to use that one. So if I'm printing here D, what we will be the output you can observe. See here. What happened? Complete system date and time, like IST format, Indian Standard Time, we are getting complete date and time. Understood now? So here depends upon your system date and time, we are getting here complete format with IST, Indian Standard Time, we are getting. So just we created object only, we are getting the time. But my requirement is, I want today date only the date only, what we are going to do. Where A equal to, A is my variable name, A equal to, already we have a variable called D. In that D, what we are doing, already we created object D dot get date. So just I want to print here a value. What is the output for this one? We can observe. So today date is 25th. We got here the date. So that means we have to understand here. So from where we are getting the predefined methods. So internally the JavaScript contains some of the predefined classes. If you want to call that predefined methods here, we have to create object. Through the object, you can use that one automatically. We are going to execute into the real-time scenario. Here we have here two kind of things. One is core modules and second one is so global core. So core in the sense if you are using set timeout, we are not creating any object method. And at the same time, if you are observing print one, so we are not creating any object. Directly we are using So that is called core. So global core in the sense must and should you have to create the object. So through that object only you can access. So that is the difference between core and the decentralized global core. We have to understood that concept. So this is the way we have to implement in the real-time scenario. Understood now? So just we have to create object for the existing class where d equal to new date. If I'm printing here D, we are getting the entire system date and time. I required only the date only. We can use get date and we are getting. So I required here get month. So here month is starts with a 0. Jan count is 0. It is not showing January, February like that. It will shows the count only 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. So current month is 7th month, but Jan starts with a 0. We will get the output is 6. So 0 no. So now you will get here 6 here. So if you want to do the year, what we are going to do? Get full year. We can use here get full year. Now the year we are getting here 2022 we are getting. So get hours. So I want to do here hours. So current hour is 10 o'clock. So 10:40 now. So that's what just we are taking the hours only. Get minutes, get seconds. If you are writing the get minutes, we get the only minutes. Get seconds, only the seconds should be displayed. Like that we have the get methods. Understood now? So we have to go to the just getters. Getters in the sense first we have to create the object. Then you can use get time, get hours, get minutes, get seconds. So whatever your existing date is there, date and time, you can use the get automatically. You will get that all operations here. And at the same time, you can also do the setters. Setters means you can set some data. For example, I purchased one product now. So that the product contains some warranty like 1 year or 2 years. So what we are going to do? So just I'm going to get that the current year. So where b equal to a plus 1. Nothing but I'm giving 1 year warranty. Current year plus 1. 1 year warranty we are getting here. Then finally I'm going to do here where c equal to already d is there. For that d only I'm going to do set full year. Set full year. What you are going to do? B. B is nothing but current year plus 1. So for which one I'm going to set? D only. So that's why I'm going to print here D. So just to go to the browser and check once. The year is updated or not. Just you can observe. So this is the way you have to implement the getters and setters. So getter in the sense already, get in the sense already whatever we have, you can just take that information, we can print it. And what about setters? Setters is nothing but you can set something, you can pass some parameter and you can apply that value. That is called getters and setters. We are going to use. This is the way we have to implement the complete date one. So don't get any confusion. Why? Because the same concepts for the React, who are joining like a UI developer, so compulsory they are going to learn about that. So ECMAScript also. Why? Because there we have to do the classes. So JavaScript is not a OOPS programming. It is stopped in 2015 only. After that, they implemented a number of features. OOPS concept introduced, and at the same time, arrow functions, anonymous functions, map, we have for each n number of things they introduced. So and they named as a ECMAScript. So ECMAScript is a OOPS, but Java is not a OOPS programming. But internal classes we have. So how we are going to access that one? Master should we have to create the object. So where new is object here for the predefined class called date. So we have to print the date. You will get the complete Indian Standard Time IST we are getting. Then you can use the getters and setters automatically. It will be applicable here. This is about how we are going to create the data object. Clear now? So just to practice these concepts. So tomorrow we'll discuss about string object. String class is also there. String predefined methods and the mathematical predefined methods we have. And at the same time, number predefined method we have. Like that, we have the different kind of things. We'll discuss step by step. Okay.